When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, there can only be one winner. Today, we shall see a battle between one evil wizard and another ginger wizard who's evil. One furious that a tea was not made for them, the other furious that their tea was too milky. It destroyed all peace in the world! And a big thank you, of course, to Wizard of the Coast for sponsoring this video. If you want to get yourself a little starter kit, it is the best way for beginners to start playing Magic like we are today, then you can go into the link in the description right now and grab yourself a copy. It's fantastic. It's a great game. It's so much fun. And I hope that you can enjoy this video as much as we've enjoyed making it. Now, back to the serious business. These two wizards have put every ounce of their power not into solving the world's problems, but destroying each other. Let's see who will be just a damp squib and who will be a powerful wizard who compensates for nothing as we play Magic the Gathering.
I'm actually dead excited to play this with you. Yeah, this should be really fun, you tea moocher. I'm going to destroy you.
Oh,
in a loving way.
Well, yes, I'm going to have a lot of fun at your expense.
I'm going to really enjoy myself as I wipe you off the face of the planet.
Oh, well, we'll see about that, Laurie, because you'll need all the luck you can get.
Oh, I see. Well, good luck and have fun, I suppose.
Yes, well, yes. Well, have fun and good luck.
But it's not just us here, actually. We've been joined by Wally from Chad Magic, who is here to make sure that we're not going to mess this up and play it wrong.
Hello everybody, my name's Wally. I'm one half of the casting and presenting duo that is Chad Magic. We make Magic the Gathering content for YouTube, so if you like what you see today, hopefully you do check us out. But my purpose here today is to look after these two evil wizards, to make sure they behave fairly and within the rules of the game, so that the one who is destroyed can't complain about it later.
I could win this game and still complain about it afterwards. That's my MO.
I suppose we should go over really quickly because these are the start sets, right? So this is the whole point of this video, the whole reason we've been sponsored to talk about how the starter kit for Magic the Gathering is the best way to get into the game. But how do you play Magic the Gathering, Dominic?
You have a deck. Here's mine. There's Laurie's.
Don't touch it. It's not for you.
I've taken a bit of his power. We both start with 20 health, which we're going to signify with these D20s. Our aim is to wipe out the health points of each other before the other one does it to us, if that makes sense.
And you do that by playing a series of different cards. You have spell cards in your hand, which might be creatures that you can summon. They might be spells that you can do to use attacks and all that kind of things. Enchantments and equipment that you can summon to the battlefield as well. But the other type of cards that you're going to have in your hand, and this is how you do everything, are land type cards, because the wizards in Magic the Gathering draw all of their power from the mana of the land. They draw mana out of the land and they use it to do all of their spells. But you need different types of land in order to do different types of spells.
Hello. I'm very excited to be a powerful wizard, and I'm going to begin my journey to absolute power with one of these starter decks. I actually played Magic when I was 14 because I got given a starter kit. So I know how good they can be. It's the best way to learn to play. Let's get into this. I think I can just use magic to open it. Wow! Behold! The magic of perforated cardboard. You may choose to open your starter kit more carefully than I. So we've got two decks to use. One deck is green and white, and the other is red and blue. So I'm more tempted to go for the white and green, mainly because of this Boonbringer Valkyrie on the front that looks really cool. I mean, the Tyrant of Kerr Ridges also looks cool, but that looks cooler to me. I've made my choice. Maybe I've sealed my doom, but I doubt it. And it comes with this cool box that I can put it in. Let's have a look at some of these cards, shall we? Oh, plastic. My one nemesis. All right, here's the deck. Let's have a look at some exciting cards. I mean, this one is fabulously exciting, the Boonbringer Valkyrie. It's an angel warrior I mean, you can't get much cooler than that, can you? When this creature enters the battlefield, it puts a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, so it boosts things that are already out, including itself. If that's another creature, it gains the following abilities until the end of the turn: Flying, First Strike, and Lifelink. So that sounds pretty good to me. Not a cheap play. Quite an expensive tap there, but pretty good. We've got some other great cards here. Here's a great enchantment, In the Trenches. Every creature I control gets +1/+1. So that is like boosting everyone in the trenches. Not only really good, but also well named. This deck, by the way, seemingly its main power is to add bonuses to creatures that are already out. So it's all about reinforcing and boosting what's there, so that even weak creatures seemingly can become unstoppable giant monsters. And speaking of giant monsters, look at this! This Silverback Elder looks really cool and terrifying. I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of him. So in this game, what would be really, really great is if these two came up together, because these are two cards that have incredible, powerful synergy, which is the Siege Veteran and the Dusk Legion Duelist. So the Dusk Legion Duelist is a vampire soldier. Whenever one or more +1 counters are put on the Dusk Legion Duelist, I get to draw a card, and it triggers once each turn. But the Siege Veteran, at the beginning of combat on my turn, puts a +1 counter on a target creature I control, which means that I can use this to just keep adding counters to this every turn, which means I can draw more cards, which means I'll have more options to destroy my enemies. I'd also love if this came up, this Ancient Imperious Sword, because look at the state of that. Look at it. It's horrible. 6/6, and it can trample, which means that it can crush things in its way and still hurt my opponent. So if I get all of these, I'll probably win.
So Wally, do different colour types in Magic typically give you a kind of idea of what those cards might play like?
Exactly, yes. So what you find is red cards tend to be more aggressive, they want to win quickly, but blue cards tend to be a bit more passive, sit back, control the opponent. So it's an interesting combination you've got there, Laurie. Whereas then we've got...
Sounds like it has no synergy. I'm boned!
And then what we've got with green and white cards is quite a common synergy of trying to make big things, and the creatures boost each other to deal more damage to your opponent.
It sounds like I've got a strategy.
It sounds like
you've got a hammer.
I've got luck-based.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dom opened the packs, got to choose first, so he has dubbed me the Lizard Wizard, for I have the Dragon deck. So this deck is seemingly all about bringing out big beastie boys. All right, let's have a little look what we got. So the top card, Tyrant of the Carriages. He is a big dragon boy. He costs 6 land, or 6 mana to summon, including 2 mountain land. He is flying, which means that their attacks cannot be blocked by things that aren't either flying or have reach. So I think my long-term strategy here is going to be bring out a load of dragons, swing directly for Dom Allen's face. Up next is Sarkhan, Soul of Flame. This is the legendary creature from this deck. And he's pretty cool. He's a human shaman. He's pretty cheap. He's just costs 3 mana to summon. And he makes all of the dragon spells cheaper. So the big synergy in this deck is all the dragons work together to bring out more dragons. They're breeding like rabbits. And this says, whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan, Soul of Flame, become a copy of it until the end of the turn. Except it remains called Sarkhan, and it also has a legendary type. So basically, whenever I summon a new dragon when he's already on the field, he can copy that dragon, take all of its stats and all of its abilities, and then immediately activate all of them on the exact same turn. So for instance, should I play this Rage, Fire, Hell, Kite, he could become that. So he would then gain flying. He would have the ability of the Rage, Fire, Hellkite, which is whenever Rage, Fire, Hellkite attacks, you can sacrifice another creature, and if you do, Rage, Fire, Hellkite gains double strike until the end of the turn, which basically means that that creature can attack twice. Next up is Shivan the Devastator, or Shivan Devastator, which is another dragon with multi-heads. This is a flying one. Has haste as well, which is good because it means it can attack. It doesn't get sick when it gets summoned, because in Magic, things get summoning sickness. So the first time you play something, something can't attack, but this one doesn't get sick because clearly it's had its travel medicine. Our next fellow has options. Options are good. We like flexibility. the Ether Channeler. When Ether Channeler enters the battlefield, choose one. I can create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Ooh. So he's like a stage magician. Here's a dove. I can also do return another target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. That could be a creature, or it could be a enchantment or a bit of equipment. Any permanent thing that is on the battlefield, I can send it back to the hand of the player, which means they have to spend all of the mana to summon it yet again. Wasting time. We love wasting Dom's time. Or I can draw a card. Drawing cards is really good in a game where you only get to draw one card per turn as standard. Looking at this deck, I feel like the thing that I really need to happen is I need to have a good starting hand to build up a big pool of mana, because I have a lot of really good cards. But oh boy, they're pricey. These are expensive boys. So I need to build up a really good pool of land to tap on every single turn. I need to hold off whatever Dom is doing, I think, in the first few turns, and then hopefully I can slam down a few big dragons, ideally with Sarkhan on the board already, and then I can just swing for face and wipe him out in like 2 turns. That's the goal. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Wally, but the first thing we have to do is decide who goes first.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, we'll do a roll-off with these D6s, shall we?
Should we summon the Tower of Destiny?
Tower of Destiny! Boom! There he is.
Oh, that's my roll.
No, you put it in the top.
All right. Give it a bit of mana.
Is that what you're calling it these days?
Well, it worked.
Oh my God!
It bloody worked.
Mana from me. Have all that mana.
Ah,
Not as much mana.
It's a shame.
All right. Well, Dom's going first.
So I'm going to draw up 7 cards from the top of my deck. 1, 2,
And I'll do the same.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get to look at these and decide if I think this is a starting hand I can work with. And typically, I'm sure Wally will back me up here. I need a good mix of a few lands, some things I can play early, and anything good.
Exactly, yeah. So you want to have enough land to play some stuff in your hand. You don't want to have loads of really expensive creatures, because what will happen is Laurie will play cheaper creatures potentially and kill you before you can even get started.
Oh, meh, meh, meh.
Luckily, I think this is a perfectly good starting hand. But if it wasn't, what would I do?
Oh, you can do a mulligan, is what you can do. You can choose to put all 7 cards back into your deck, shuffle your deck, and draw new 7 cards. But then from that 7 that you have to put 1 back into your deck. So you have to take 6 cards, basically, for the option of basically having reshuffled your hand and gaining a new one. You can do that as many times as you want, but at some point you do just run out of cards, right?
Yeah, it's not ideal, yeah. And you put the card to the bottom, so it's a little bit of extra information as well, because you know what card you're not likely to draw.
And I'd love to show you that, but I'm going to keep my cards.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want to do a quick introduction of what the different phases of a turn are?
Yeah, why not? So Magic has several different phases to a turn. It starts with the untap. We'll cover what that means in a minute. So you get all your lands and your creatures untapped, which means you can use them again. You have an upkeep phase, which probably isn't going to matter too much in this game. Then you draw a card, which is the best part of Magic, except on your first turn when you don't get to do it. Boo-hoo. Then you have a main phase in which you can play lands, you can play creatures and enchantments. Then you go to combat, where you attack your opponent, deal damage to them, maybe kill some of their creatures, maybe they block. We'll cover that as we get to it. Then you have another main phase, which is exactly the same as the first. Then you go to your end step, so any abilities that say until end of turn expire, all the creatures get their health back to full, and if you have more than 7 cards in your hand, you've got to discard some to the graveyard.
What do you do with your awful turn then? Come on, you creature.
I'm going to play a land card, but it's a special kind of land card. It's not your normal run-of-the-mill.
It's not your granddad's land.
It's not some dusty old
estate up
car
north.
park. These are blossoming sands. So most lands are just lands, forests, plains for me. But this one is a special one because it has power. It enters tapped. But when it enters the battlefield, I gain a life. And it's gone above 20, so I now have a little bit of extra juice.
What the hell?
It's very exciting.
Also, blossoming sands. It's like a racket after Paul's finished with it.
Yeah. I am the Leeson Algaib.
You're the loser, Algaib.
Oh, I'm the more deep. You're the less deep.
I'm in too deep, is what I am.
I don't want to give too much away, of course, about what's in my hand, but I'm going to choose at this point, tactically, to not do anything else.
All right, interesting. So the turn has passed to me then.
It has.
Which means I am in my untap phase, but I don't have anything to untap. Do I draw a card? I get to draw a card.
Best pass of Magic.
Wow, look at him go.
Okay, I'm going to play this land. It is a fine land. You're going to love this, Dom.
Oh,
You're going to love this.
Whenever anyone said that before, I haven't.
You're going to love this. I choose to end my turn.
Oh, I do. I love it. Oh,
I
great.
choose to do it.
Well, I see you are familiar with the art of strategy. I'm going to untap, and then I'm going to draw a card. Oh, you're right. You're right, Wally. It's very exciting. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, that is pretty useless. Probably not going to need that card, but I'll hold on to it for now, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to play another land. Let's have a forest, because it's cool in the forest. I think.
Oh, you're doing a spell, are you?
A terrible spell, you won't believe your eyes, for I am going to summon boop, boop, the Samite Herbalist, which is a human cleric. So, early doors, the Samite Herbalist seems unassuming, seems like, how hard can this be? But I have the power of scrying. By looking at the top card of the library, I can see what's coming. And better yet, if it's no good, I can send it to the bottom. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge is power. And I will have the knowledge. And the Samite Herbalist will give it to me. Oh, yes. And more than that, it'll give me life. Pure life. Endless life. Immortal life. These enter, when they first enter, they have summoning sickness.
They do.
So that means I can't do anything with it.
It means it can't attack or tap this turn, but next turn, Laurie's going to be really sorry.
Oh, good. Can cards that have summoning sickness still block?
Yes, they can.
Oh, great. Well, that's good news.
Because they're not tapped. Only untapped cards can block.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone's read the rules.
Oh, yeah. I watched a video. It was one of his.
Oh, well, there we are.
Well, I hope we didn't make too many mistakes.
I hope not. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I play this island. And then I shall play this rock hunter.
Oh.
By tapping these two cards. Who's out there looking for some rocks.
Okay.
He's 3-1, and like S Club 7, he can reach.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to untap my land. Oh, yes. Oh.
He's got a good poker face.
Oh. More land. Great. So we're going to put another land out, because you always need more land. So we'll have another forest, I think. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. And then we shall pop down by tapping these.
Ooh,
That's
3.
right, isn't it? 2 forests.
3's dear.
2 forests and 2 forests, and I'm going to count this as a plains, which means that I can play the Siege Veteran, another human creature. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I get to put a +1 counter on a target creature I control. Whenever another non-token soldier you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token.
So what that means is, if you have a soldier that you've cast from your hand or from another part of the game, if that dies, you will create one of these. This is a token soldier. So tokens sort of exist as a tool for the game. They don't ever go to your hand, they don't ever go to the graveyard, they can only exist on the battlefield. So if it gets returned to your hand, it goes away. If it gets killed, it goes away. But ultimately, it is still just a 1/1 creature that can attack and block. So
Better than nothing.
if it happens, it could be useful for you.
Great. Okay. Wonderful.
On a non-soldier. If a non-soldier creature of yours dies, you get one of those.
I know it's non-token soldier.
A non-token soldier.
Yeah, and I think Siege Veteran is the only non-token soldier in the deck.
Okay, so when he dies.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Thank God. I thought I was in dire straits.
But What I will do now is attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to put... So at the beginning of combat, I can put a +1 counter on this. That'll bring it up to 3-2. You've got 3-1 over there, which means it would die if you blocked with it.
Certainly, but yours would also die, sir, and thus mutually assured destruction.
But when I tap it, I'll gain a life, and I'll be able to check what my next card is. And I think that's a worthwhile exchange.
I think so.
So here comes the Samite Herbalist, stronger than ever. So it gets +1 on there.
So it's now a 3-2.
Here it comes. Ah!
I block.
Oh.
Okay, so when
No, don't.
No, I'm going to block.
relax.
I'm going to block because we'll talk about attacking in Magic the Gathering. Because when you do an attack in Magic the Gathering, you commit the things you're going to attack and you tap them all, and then the defending player has a choice of whether to either just take that on the chin, which would just be actually attacking my life points directly. Obviously, if I lose all 20 life points, the game is over for me. Or I can commit my untapped creatures, so anything that is turned this way and not this way, to defend myself from that damage. And I can commit them in any kind of combination that I want to block that damage, right?
That's right, but before you block, Dom actually has a very special ability on his creature. So whenever it taps, something happens, doesn't it?
I gain another life point. So I'm on 22. And
It's going well for me.
I get to scry, which means I get to look at this card and decide if I want to keep it on the top of the deck or put it at the bottom. It was upside down. I'm going to leave it on the top of the deck.
Well, then it becomes my choice as to whether I'm going to take the damage or block the damage. I'm going to block the damage, I think.
Okay.
Or shall I wait and clap back? What are you going to do? You're going to deal 3 damage, are you? Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to do that before that gets out of hand, because you can keep putting counters on things and it's going to make it more difficult for me to kill it. So I think I'm going to take it out while it's still small.
All right.
So we both die, because basically
Ow.
what happens is my power is 3 and my defense is 1. I'm going to deal 3 damage to Dom's card, which has a defense of 2 because of the +1 counter, which means that exceeds that, which means that's going to die. But this, at the same time, deals back its 3 damage, which is more than my 1 toughness. So that's going to die.
Goodbye, Samite Herbalist. You had a good run. You had a really good run.
Hey, came in, did its thing, and then left.
That's Samite Herbalist for you.
Untap my cards so I can use them again. And then draw a card.
He's bluffing. I know that face. That's the face of a liar. A bluffing liar.
Boopy doopy doop. Here's a mountain. Look at
he's not
that.
bluffing.
Look at the mountain. There it is. Why don't we do this? Skabam, skabam, skabam.
Yeah.
The Coligan Warmonger. Here we bloody go. We got the Coligan Warmonger. This guy is like the puzzle piece. This is the boy. This is my little fella. Mwah, I love you. Whenever I attack with this card, and I can attack with this card immediately because it's got haste, I get to draw the top 6 cards in my deck, and I get to choose one of the dragons that might be in there, and I get to keep it. And guess what, baby? Guess what? I got a hand full of dragons. We love you, Coligan Warmonger.
That's a very good move. Very well done. You must be really pleased.
I am
not worried
very-
in the least.
I'm very pleased. Attack!
No!
Fine warrior!
Oh.
So I tap him. So I'm going to do this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For my eyes only. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
You've drawn 6 dragons, have you?
I've drawn quite a lot of dragons.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh God. This is a nightmare for me.
I'm going to take this card.
All right.
The Ragefire Hellkite.
Oh God, what a name.
Oh boy, that was a very useful thing to do there, because to be perfectly honest with you, there were no lands in that 6 cards, so it was going to be a very slow game otherwise for me. So hopefully there's some land here. We could do with land. And also you've got 3 damage coming your way.
I'm going to take it on the chin.
Okay,
I don't want to lose my siege veteran,
that's absolutely fair.
and I've got the life points to spend.
Wonderful.
Ow.
That's great for me, Dom. I love that. Because
So
I'm going to get the value from this guy on the next turn.
So I'm down to, what, 19?
Yes.
19. There we go. First time he's been under 20 in the entire game. First time he's been under 21 in the entire game.
Yeah. I've got juice. I've got juice on my side. I'm a juicy man. I'm a juicy wizard.
Gross.
Yeah.
Really gross.
A sorcerer, if you will. Terry like that one. Terry.
Ketchup.
Not ketchup. Manna.
It's manna.
Manna.
Somebody spilled a load of manna in here.
It's mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
There's definitely rules against spilling ketchup on your opponent's cards.
Now we've got sleeves. We're fine.
We've got lovely sleeves to protect from mayonnaise, but they would ruin the mats.
Yes, which Wizards of the Coast did send us. They also sent us the sleeves to keep the cards in, so thank you very much for them for that. If you want to get any accoutrement for your Magic the Gathering games, go to Wizards of the Coast. They're the people who make it. It's the best place to get it.
Lovely, lovely stuff. What a great play that was for you. And if you're winning, I'm winning because we're having fun.
I don't believe you.
I said it, all right, I said it.
Do you want to untap your cards?
Yes, I know I'm going to untap my cards. Ka-ching! Lovely. So, what have we got? We've got 2 forests and a blossoming sands. And how comes... the fairgrounds trumpeter. You notice how I got fairground trumpeting into the elephant trumpeting there? Real nuanced performance. So, I have great synergy between the forests and the plains. They come together to create a kind of, I suppose, temperate grassland where anything can grow. And with my siege veteran, able to put +1 counters on targets I can control. Out comes Harumph, the fairground trumpeter. The circus is in town, Laurie, and it's bringing more counters, more +1 counters, because as long as this is around and +1 counters are getting put around by the siege veteran, this will also get +1 counters each turn that this activates, which means you're in a deadly death loop of my incredibly insurmountable and growing power. I'm like a rash that will never clear up and will spread until it's all over your entire body, Laurie. Oh yes, I'm going to get all over your face and it's going to itch. Oh, it's going to itch. And what's even better, and Laurie doesn't know, is that I've got a horrible spell, a bit of sorcery. I can storm the sea core, which means that I can distribute 4 +1 counters among up to 4 creatures I control, which will also then activate this if I should lose the siege veteran. So I've got backups. I've got backups for days. Massive, massive elephants. And guess what, Laurie? I'm going to attack with the siege veteran, and at the beginning of combat on my turn, I get to put a +1 counter on a target creature I control, and I'm going to put it on the siege veteran, which means the siege veteran is now 3/3, and he's coming for you. And oh dear, you've your guy's tapped.
He is tapped.
You can't block this, can you?
No, I can't block this.
Well, you're going to take 3 damage. Pew pew pew.
17. There it is.
Did I play a land this turn yet? I haven't, have I?
No, you haven't.
But I can play a land now, because you can play a land at the start, or there's a second phase.
Second main phase, yes.
Second main phase. So we'll do that now. There we are. Lovely plains. And that is the beginning of the end of my turn, which means that I get a +1 on my Fairgrounds Trumpeter. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic.
Sickening.
So in your end steps, all creatures will heal, that effect will resolve, and it will go over to Laurie.
Absolutely sickening. Untap these cards. Do me a fucking solid. Do me a solid. Just do me a solid, alright? Okay.
This branch of magic is called card whispering. It never works.
It worked as a land!
Oh no!
Eat land, fool!
Oh no!
Okay, I'm going to tap these two and play a Rock Hunter.
This guy again. Still hasn't caught you any rocks, has he?
It's just busy doing stuff. All right, and then I'm going to swing for you with the, in the combat phase, I'm going to swing with this guy, which means 6 cards. Don't all be land, don't all be land. Please don't all be
dragons. Please don't all be dragons.
Well, there's a choice. That's a card I'm going to reveal to you.
Oh dear.
Just check he's a... Oh, yes, he is. His name is Shivan Devastator.
That sounds awful. That sounds like bad news. He's got so many necks.
In he comes. These ones get shuffled up, shuffly, and then on the bottom of the library they go. Lovely stuff. What are you going to do about this 3 damage?
I'm going to take it on the chin.
Oh, you take that then.
Yes.
That's for you.
Oh dear. That takes me down to 16. But I'm not scared yet.
Your turn.
Thank you so much. Lovely, lovely. So I'm going to untap everything. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And now, Laurie. Let's see what this is first. Oh yeah, we can play that. Oh no, wait. No. I'll put another land down. That's another plains. Lovely. Now let me think carefully here, because I think I know what I'm going to do. And I think you're going to love it.
Oh, yeah?
I think you're going to be over the moon with this. So I'm going to tap. I'm going to tap 2 forests here, and 2 other cards. Really messily. I'm a sloppy wizard. A juicy, sloppy, saucy wizard.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
And I'm going to cast Storm the Seed Core.
Whatever Laurie does now, there's nothing that can stop me, because I can forge ahead with Storm the Seed Core, which will give me 4 +1 counters to distribute however I see fit. I could put them all on one thing if I wanted to. That would be crazy, but I could do it, and I will do it because I am crazy. When I play this, it adds vigilance and trample until the end of the turn. Trampling whatever Laurie's put in the way and stamping on his little specky face. And I'm aware I'm wearing spectacles as well. I wouldn't punch a man in glasses, but I would ride an elephant onto his head.
Wally, would you mind telling us what vigilance and trample do, please?
Sure. So first, vigilance, what that means is when you attack with the creature, it doesn't tap. What that means is you can block with it next turn, so that's pretty cool. But I think trample's even cooler, because what that means is, say your creature has 4 power, and Laurie blocks it with a creature with 1 toughness, the remaining 3 damage will trample straight over to Laurie's face. Wow. So that means blocking sometimes isn't actually that good.
I'm going to distribute 4 +1 counters among up to 4 targets that I control. So I might as well do it evenly. So that's 2 on here, which takes this up to +3. How do dice work? And 2 on here, which takes it up to +3. Which means they're now both 5/5.
5/5.
5/5. They've both got vigilance and trample, so I may as well attack with them because I can still block with them. And I'm going to do both of them.
Wonderful.
Which means as well that at the beginning of combat, I get to add another +1 on a target creature I control. So I think I'm going to put it on this guy. He's now 6/6.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Synergy.
Krakow! No! Witch Stalker Frenzy! Dom has the ability to put a load of power on the board. His counter growth is out of control. It's all over the place. It's spreading like wildfire in here, and I don't have the creams to stop it. However, I do have this boy. This is my Witch Stalker Frenzy. This card, depending on the number of creatures that attack on a turn, I can deduct mana from the cost to play this spell. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend 2 of my mana on my turn in the hope that on Dom's turn he attacks with both of his creatures, and then wham-bam! This guy comes out, and I'm going to kill one of them. You've attacked with 2 creatures. I need to spend 2 mana then. So there you go.
Tricked me.
Witch Stalker Frenzy deals 5 damage to a target creature. This guy, please.
That won't die because it's got 6 toughness.
I know, but I'm going to block with that.
I see.
I've thought about this. I've thought about it in advance.
I see what you've done here.
Yeah.
You've screwed me. I'm furious.
I'm still going to take a chunk in overflow, I think, here, because I could kill this and negate all that damage, but this is just going to boost itself every turn. This only boosts if you have another thing. So this is going to stay at 5/5. This turn is a 6/6. Next turn it's a 7/7.
Tough call either way, but I think that's a smart play if you're going to block and kill it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to block and kill that.
Okay.
So this blocks. I take 5 damage from that overflow on trample. Or does it have trample this turn?
It does. It does.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
It does.
And I'm going to take 5 from that. So I take 10 damage overall, taking me down to 7. Why does my deck not go faster?
10 damage. That's 10 damage. You know what that is, Laurie? That's half your life points. Gone. Gone forever. Gone for good. And I'm sure I'll get some cards that'll grow my life back even stronger. And that's it. I think we're entering the end game. Pretty sure it's curtains for Laurie. So this guy's gone. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a trigger when it dies.
There is a trigger when it dies. The soldier has died, which creates a 1/1 colourless soldier artifact creature token.
Of course it bloody well does.
Haha, you forgot about that, did you, Laurie?
Yeah, I knew about
Oh,
it.
he knew about that, did he? So he says. Looks like he means business, because he's got a red hot tip. Just like me.
He's sloppy.
He's sloppy and a red hot tip.
Sloppy and juicy with a red hot tip. Dom Allen, sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Lovely. And that's that, which means that there was a counter that got a +1. So this gets another +1.
Every turn it gets, even though it's not on the board anymore. Wow.
Well, this also
right.
got a +1 anyway.
Oh, okay.
Because of the seed core. So,
So it counts for itself.
yeah. Yeah. I believe so.
Where is the synergy in my deck? You're letting me down. I just learned lizards. All I learned was lizards at magic school. I've been looking for synergies, and I'm just not finding them. Where are the synergies? Why have I only got little guys? I've just got loads of little guys and no big guys and nothing that gets rid of any of Dom's. I just need to block something. Just give me something to block.
Well,
That better be the end of your goddamn turn. You team-mooching fool!
ooh, this is interesting.
No.
Isn't it? Oh, let's see. I think this might. I'll save that for later. So that concludes the turn.
Wonderful. Untap my cards. Hope that something good happens.
How many life points you got, Laurie?
Shut up! I have 7, you bum. Mountain. Right. What are we doing? How are we doing this?
I really hope my next few draws are good, because I'm starting to worry it's going to be that my best is behind me.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. These guys. Bringing in the Stormkeld Prowler, which is a 2/1. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value of 5 or greater, put 2 + 1/1 counters on the Stormkeld Prowler. And then I will spend 3. And I don't like having to do this, but I'm going to have to because I'm in dire straits. Shivan the Devastator, who gets a 2 counter on it. Has haste though, and flying, so...
Oh dear.
I will be... No, I'm not going to. I'm going to hold. I hold.
Okay.
Sir.
What was the thing again? Does that only count when you
When I do a summoning that costs 5 mana, that's going to get +2/+2. Sorry, 2. Oh yeah, 2 +1 counters. So
right. Okay. Well, if that's the end of your go,
it is the end of my game.
I shall untap my cards. And really hope we go.
If you top deck something good now, I'm going to be furious.
Okay, not quite what I wanted, but it'll have to do. Oh, I can't quite do it. That's so annoying.
That's good.
That's
good. That's fine.
Laurie's sweatiness is catching. I'm getting a bit nervous now because I've noticed that I have an economy problem. Some lovely cards, oh yes, but the mana costs. I haven't got the land for it. I mean, I have for one of them, but I'm keeping something in my back pocket. But that means I can't use the mana for the things I need to use it for. And I just need a land card. Please, I just need more land, said every landowner ever. Tap these 2 forests then. I'm still in with a chance. And I'll bring out this Iridescent Blade Master. It's an elf warrior. If I spend 3 mana and a forest mana, I can give it +2 until the end of the turn. Which I'm not going to do right now because I can't afford to. So that's that. So if I attacked with this and you blocked it with everything,
I'd kill it.
you'd kill it. How would you? Oh, because of the attack.
Because the attack value of all of these adds up to 7.
Oh, blooming heck.
Maybe you just don't want to attack.
Maybe I just don't want to attack. Can I take 7? Yeah, I could probably take 7 on the next turn. And I could always block. You've got another dragon in your hand.
Yeah.
And I think you've got a scarier dragon than that one. Haven't you?
Well, I've shown you it, yeah. So, can you remember?
I remember.
Can you remember?
I remember
You
it
remember
being,
10 minutes ago, Dom?
I remember it being
I
worse
don't,
than
because I'm in
2-2.
a world of hurt right now. I'm so stressed.
I remember it being worse than 2-2.
My luck in a card game is terrible. Why are we playing luck-based games?
So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop right there.
And thus you have fallen into my trap.
Oh, I knew there'd be a trap.
I untap all of these. Draw a card. Oh. Island. Doo-doo-doo.
I hope I haven't made a terrible mistake. Wally's face, unreadable.
I'm just making different faces to throw you guys off.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Should we get some things on the board, shall we? Let's do one of these and one of these and bring in another Stormkeld Prowler.
Oh my god.
And then let's do all of these, shall we? And bring in this Dragon Whelp. Small but unassuming, but he's going to turn the tide because I can pump him full of my mountain mana to give him extra damage, and I can swing directly at Dom's face. If Dom doesn't attack soon, I'm just going to go for his face. Right in the face. No, I'm not going to attack with everything because I need to chill.
Okay. I think we all need to chill.
Yeah, I just need to chill until you're ready to attack.
Building walls, are we? I see. All right, so that's the end of your go.
That's the end of my go.
Lovely. I'll untap these. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. Draw a card. Please just be what I need you to be. You know what I need you to be. Don't look at me like that. Shut up. You weren't listening again, were you? You weren't listening. You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. It's the recruitment officer. A human soldier. I can spend 3 mana and a plains to look at the top 4 cards of my library, and I can reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them. I can then put it in my hand, and then I put the rest on the bottom of my library in a random order.
So you could do that now. You can afford that, right?
I could.
3 mana and a plains.
I could do that.
So that ability is interesting, Dom, because actually you can activate it at any time. So you could wait till Laurie's end step to do it and hold up your mana and pretend that you've got some kind of removal spell or instant to kill his things. So Laurie's like, ooh, why hasn't Dom spent his mana? But actually you're just holding it up for that ability.
All right. Okay.
So only when it says activate only as a sorcery do you have to do it on your main phase.
That is very good.
Do you think I'm doing well, Wally?
I think you
Tell me nice things. I'm panicked.
I think you were very much on the back foot, but you've stabilised a bit. You've got loads of creatures out.
Yeah.
I think Dom probably missed a trick by not attacking with his big guy on his last turn.
Yeah, I think that might be true.
Because you can take that hit now and crack back and pump your Dragon Whelp and do some real damage. So it seems quite even at the moment, even though you're on lower life.
I've made a decision.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to do one more thing. You're not the only one with lizards in this game, Laurie.
Oh, yeah?
So if I tap 2 forests, and then 1, 2
Plains.
of anything, I need to tap 3 more. But this can convoke, which means I can tap creatures to bring it into play. So I'm going to tap my recruitment officer, my iridescent blade master, and the soldier. Behold the ancient Imperiosaur! It's going to get 2 +1 counters for each creature that convoked it. So that would mean it gets +2, +4, +6.
That's right.
Wow.
On top of it, 6, which means it now has 12. 12.
Crazy.
And it tramples.
Well, GG.
Oh, yes. It also says, it says trample, but it also says ward 2. What does that mean, Ollie?
So Ward is a special triggered ability. So what that means is if Laurie casts a spell that targets the Ancient Imperiosaur, unless Laurie pays an extra 2 mana, that spell will be countered. So it protects it from removal and other nasty things.
Oh,
Crazy.
horrible. Awful business.
That's really bad.
Lizards are horrible. Okay, I'll leave it. Which begins the end step. And a +1 counter was put on a permanent under my control. which means this gets another +1.
I should have chosen the decks first!
So that's now on 7-7, and that's on 12-12.
Okay, deck, you need to do something big for me now. I really need it. This is the moment. I've been waiting for you to do something.
I'm really worried it is
me
something. This is so stressful. Oh, I'm scared.
Okay.
Woo! What's he got?
We're going to play this. We're going to tap these. And then I'm going to tap this, and this. I'm tapping all of this to cast a spell that costs 6 mana. I have a cast trigger on these guys. That means whenever you cast a spell with mana value of 5 or greater, I put 2 1/1 counters on them, so they grow.
Oh no.
I'm also going to play the Archive Dragon.
Here we bloody go! Yes! We struck gold, and the gold is blue! Blue gold! Look at this guy, Archive Dragon. This is going to fix my problems, because this guy not only has the blocking power that I so desperately need now that Dom is just farming things that I can't stop and they're going to trample me across the board. But not only that, it's got Ward 2, which means that any spells used to try to remove it, and I'm pretty sure Dom has a spell that you can use on my flying creatures. I saw it in a practice game. And I get a Scry 2, which means I get to look at the top 2 cards of my deck and put them back in any order.
Solid wall of dragons.
Yeah, I've just got to survive the turn, and we're going to have to maths out what I do when you swing for me. That, I believe, is my turn.
Okay.
He doesn't like that. He thinks I should attack.
It's an interesting board state is all. I think it's not in anyone's interest to attack right now.
We've really gone for
It's like the grand stalemate.
arms race. We've gone for arms race. That's what we've gone for. It's the Cold War. That's what makes it so scary. It's like
Yeah, you swing for me, and if I can block it all, Dom, I win. And if I swing for you and you manage to survive, you win.
the tipping point is so scary, and I don't know if we've reached it yet or if we will. But I untap all of these. And I untap all of these. And I think it will hinge on what this card is for me. What I do next. Okay. Play a fore, yeah? So if I attacked with everything right now,
I think I can block it all.
you can block it.
I can't block all the damage, but I think I can not die. Because all I need to do is block all the damage from this and block these 2 guys, because I can survive these 2.
Yeah.
And these guys don't have trample, so I can commit just a guy to stand in the way. This is the guy I need to block all of his damage from.
I shall do nothing. I have 2 plays I could make here. One will mean more activity now, the other will mean staying my hand a bit longer. And I hope I haven't made a big mistake, the consequences of which will haunt me later down the line. But I don't know. I don't know.
I'm so scared. Untap, 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 untap. Except I'm not actually that scared because I have this. So I'm going to pay this. This has ward, right? So I have to pay 2 more.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Oh dear.
Stasis field.
Oh no.
That can only be used to defend now. It can't be used to attack.
Oh shit.
So what Stasis Field does is it turns the creature into a 0/2 base power, but the 6 counters that are on it will remain there. So the creature will be a 6/8 with Defender, but it also won't have any other abilities anymore. So the
Right.
ward's also gone now.
That's a disaster.
So I think I will use my Warmonger to attack.
He's attacking
because
me.
this isn't coming, is it? So that's not going to do anything. And I will use my... I will also tap these 2 to give them to the Dragon Whelp, who's got 4.
That's right.
And the Dragon Whelp will also attack this turn.
What does that put the Dragon Whelp on?
The Dragon Whelp attacks you for 4 because it has flying. So that's going to fly over the top. This is going to do 3 damage, and I'm going to draw 6 cards and keep a dragon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, my sweet boy. I'm going to keep this card, the Tyrant of the Care Ridges.
Oh no. Oh dear. No, I don't care for that at all.
This card is a flying. When the Tyrant of the Care Ridges enters the battlefield, it does 4 damage to any target. The Tyrant of the Care Ridges gains +1 until the end of the turn when I tap a mana for it. So when I spend a mountain mana.
So I can't block that flying damage because I've got nothing with reach.
But you can block this guy.
And you're going to do 4 damage to me.
Yeah, so you could block him with this.
Which would kill it.
Yes.
Which I may as well do. As for this Dragon Whelp, I think, yes, so I'll just take the damage on that one. Which would take me down to 12. Where are those cards that give me life? They were good, weren't they?
You don't need any more good cards, Dom. You need to draw some basic lands for a bit, and I'll have a go.
I should have attacked when I had the chance.
Yeah, because you're never going to get it again now.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. So I blocked with that, killed the thing.
What's really interesting is you did a lot to me very quickly, and I've clawed it back.
Yes.
And now I feel like I'm stabilised, but I don't know when I need to make my move. Because mathematically, I'm struggling. But I think it's really interesting that you've got this deck that balloons in size, but I actually had a perfect counter to one of your cards in my deck. So it seems like they've been designed quite well to play off against each other.
Deck's good. Yeah, we've seesawed, and now we're sort of... It feels like we're quite on an even keel now. It could go either way again. Oh, God. Are you finished with your turn?
I am finished with my turn, yes. Please enjoy.
Oh, thank you. Everything's untapped already, so I shall draw a card. That leaves me in a bit of a pickle, but maybe it's worth it. I think it is worth it. I think it's completely worth it.
I don't know enough about what's in your deck, Dom, to know whether you can just draw a perfect card or not.
This creature being enchanted, if something came along that then added like another counter, is that on top of the enchantment, or does the enchantment block it?
The enchantment doesn't block it, no, but question whether it's worthwhile doing, but the counters stay there, and you can add more counters to it to continue to make it bigger if you want to.
Right.
It just can't attack, and it loses all other abilities.
Right. So right now it's on 6/8.
Correct, yeah.
I'm with you. Okay, interesting. Okay.
And there is a card in your deck that destroys enchantments, so...
Where? Show me. Okay. I think I'd probably best do this while I can. It's just choosing where to put it.
I didn't think that having a load of dragons would be this stressful. Now I know how Daenerys felt.
You thought having dragons would be easy?
Yeah, I thought it'd be simple. I thought it'd be like having a skink or something. You just thought like a tortoise.
Did you not watch Tiger King?
That's tapped.
Yeah, so you can't block. That can't block.
I think it's now or never. No, never. I think I have to do this, and I don't know if this is the right choice. I'm going to try not to look at Wally's face. We've reached the tipping point. I'm going to commit everything, and I'll probably get destroyed in the process. But at least I'll go down screaming, "Revenge!" As he goes, "Oh no, what have you done?" So out comes the Chomping Kavu. This can back up one thing, which adds a +1 counter on a target creature. And if that's another creature, because it can do it to itself, but if it's another creature, it gains the following ability until the end of the turn, which is that it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. You've got nothing that's power 2 or less at the moment.
I've got this. That's 2 and less, yeah. So it can't be blocked by that.
That's true. But fine.
And it's worth noting here as well that ability is static on the Kavu, so that will maintain the ability, but can give it to a creature just for this one turn.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, let's give it to the Iridescent Blade Master. The counter stays there forever.
Correct, yeah, stays there forever.
So we'll give that a +1, which puts that to 3/3. I wish I had another land. That would be really helpful, but I don't. So this would be doing 7/7, 1/1, 3/3, 2/1, 3/3.
But you have no trample, so everything can be blocked currently.
Everything can currently be blocked.
I might not kill your stuff, but I can block.
If you did block, how would this pan out? what would we get? What would we be wiping off the board?
It depends on the way I commit them, basically, because I can commit them so that you might kill a couple of my things, but a few of my things might survive and kill some of yours. Like these guys, I can kill all of these and survive.
So yeah, let's commit everything.
You're going to commit it all, okay?
I think so. I think. Why not?
Sure. All right. Let's do it then.
I'm not going to do anything by halves. So, yeah.
So that can't be committed. That's important for me to do the maths of.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do I want to commit this? I mean, it is the strongest thing.
It will kill something of mine, but I'll probably just chuck my smallest thing to get in the way, basically.
Yeah, but it will survive, won't it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, can you turn them all, and then I'm going to...
It's been so long since we've done combat, I've forgotten that you have to tap things.
So I'm going to place my stuff so that we can work this out.
Okay.
So I'm going to commit... let's have a little look, shall we? So this is dealing...
7.
7. I will commit that to dealing with that. I will commit my Shivan Destroyer to deal with your Scout, which is going to trade, and that's going to die. That's going to die. I'm going to just turn my things sideways. This Stormkeld Prowler can kill this guy. So I'll do that. And then I'll do this. I take no damage, and I win next turn. Wonderful.
Great. Cool.
Yeah, so this is the only thing of mine that dies. This of yours is killed. This is killed. This is killed. These take damage, but don't die, importantly.
Correct.
And that resets at the end of the turn. So this is gone.
Okay.
Mine.
We've reached the end of my turn. Something did get a +1, so this goes up to 6.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Finish the game, Laurie.
All right. Well, let's untap everything first and see what else we can do.
Just really put the shoes in, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because if you can stop my attack at all, then I don't win. That is important to note. I'll play this land just in case we want it. And then I guess I commit this, and this to the fight. And if you can't block that by tapping these, so I can tap. I can just tap that for 5, couldn't I? So that's going to do. That's going to do 7 damage, 11 damage, 13 damage.
Wow.
To your face.
Wow. Because they're flying. And unfortunately, I do have a card that would help, but I don't have the mana for it, which is a real shame. It's a real shame. Yeah.
13 damage.
13 damage. That's
GG.
it. I'm right. That's right, isn't it?
That's
There's
correct.
nothing I
Yep,
can do.
you are very dead.
Well done.
I'm a great powerful wizard and I don't feel like it.
It felt very close. Felt very nail-bitingly close.
And the 2 cards in my hand, Dom, were awful as well. They were so
because
good.
I knew those cards were there, I was holding on to this for ages, which was to get rid of flying creatures. But I was really tempted to use it on the Whelport or this guy. But then I couldn't use it on him because it's the ward.
Yeah.
So I was like, the Dragon Whelp is... And actually, if I had a...
To be fair, like, if you hadn't have committed everything on that turn, I obviously would have won. You could have not committed everything to the fight on that turn and destroyed maybe my Archive Dragon. But the problem was I would have played one of these and all of my Prowlers would have gone up as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the right call probably would have been to kill that, because there's no ward cost on it, and this would get sacrificed at the end of turn anyway because you pumped it 5 times.
Because I'd pump it 5 times, yeah.
So I mean, it was difficult.
I wouldn't have pumped that though. I wouldn't have let that die if I wasn't going to kill Dom.
Yeah.
I would have done it like 3.
Fair enough.
I think.
Essentially did a kamikaze on the Dragon Whelp.
Yeah, I think I was quite pleased that I just had really big cards in my hand towards the end. And I was like, I can play these at any time and they're going to pump up my other guys.
I feel my problem was towards the end, I had a couple of things like powers I could use, but they were so expensive. I was like, I need just a couple more lands, and then I'll be in a much safer position.
Yeah, because you had a really strong middle of the game, but you went through all of your cards, and that gave me like by surviving what felt like really like going down to the wire and surviving. I had so many low-cost cards to just flood with, and then I fortunately started drawing really big cards that then pumped those cards.
You
That
had
was
the
really
perfect
good.
sequence, yeah. I think Dom had a moment where you could have attacked with what's the thing that gets bigger?
The Imperius.
I know the other one.
Oh,
Sorry.
the
yeah. So
Fairground
before the
Trumpeter.
Imperius even came out, you had a moment where you could have attacked, and Laurie could have blocked with everything, and you'd have lost your creature, and Laurie would have lost crucially 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, I would have lost my whole board, and you would have been.
And
I never
ahead.
think about it like that. I think about, this is precious.
And it was sort of like from that point, it was just all Laurie at that point, even though you were on so little life.
Yeah, I just had a wall
Yeah,
of guys.
exactly.
Oh, knowing the moment to commit, it was terrifying. It was just like, oh god.
It also gets like...
I was so nervous when I said I'm going to send these 3 things as well. I was like, what if that last card in Dom's hand is just like no damage for me this turn?
my decision paralysis got worse as it went on because there was so much to consider that it was like, oh, I've let it grow too big now, and in response I've grown too big. So now it's like, but if I do that, he'll do this, and then if I do that, he'll do this. It's exciting.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good
Dom.
game. Good
Yeah,
game.
good game,
Good
good
game.
game.
Good game. Good game. Good game.
Wizards.
Wizards. Another afternoon well spent, Laurie. But I think you should prepare yourself for an even sweatier afternoon.
No.
Oh, yes. No. Imagine double the amount of sweat.
No, I can't imagine Dom. My deodorant can't take it, Dom.
I'm going to recruit sidekicks. Sidekicks to come along and have a rematch. And this time you're going to lose twice as worse as you did 4 times as worse as you did this time, which means you will lose instead of win.
And lose to what, 3 people.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying we're going to play Commander, right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what I'm suggesting.
So,
You'll never
so
know.
full of tricks, Darren Brown.
Oh, because you don't have the knowledge of the juice. I do. You're not a juicy wizard like me.
I don't want to have the knowledge of the juice. But if you do want to have any knowledge of the juice, you can go check out Chad Magic, where Wally comes from. Like, what do you guys do? Tell them about them.
So we make Magic the Gathering Commander content for YouTube. That's the 4-player version of the game, which is very social, very political, very good fun. So do check us out at Chad Magic. But guys, thank you very much for inviting me. Been a really fun game to watch as well.
Thank you for coming.
It's great to have you here. Wally probably knew all the times that we could have won on different turns. Probably could have won 20 minutes before we all did. We could have been out here ages ago.
I'll take you through it in the pub later.
Yeah, do go check out Chad Magic on YouTube if you haven't already. Well, yes, thank you so much to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video and letting us play Magic the Gathering, sending us the starter kits, these play mats, all of the card sleeves and all of that stuff you've seen. And also, if you want to get your hands on a starter kit of Magic the Gathering, follow the link in the video description down below or in the pinned comment to head over and get it for yourself. Well, thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for letting us be great and powerful wizards. Thank you for joining us and being great and powerful watchers. If you enjoyed this video, click on the other videos that are appearing on screen now to watch more No Rolls Barred content. And 3, 2, 1, get on board!